introduce y'all to the introduction. I'm just kidding. Wall gang, it's Y.D.
Better make like Mario, level up.
A big reason why a lot of Maine artists don't really make it too easily, like get put on the map the same way like New York artists or Atlanta artists or like LA artists do, is because Maine isn't like as well known to other states and to like other people. I'll ask one of my cousins from like out of state if they've heard of Maine, and they don't know where Maine is. They think it's in Canada or something. So like it's pretty difficult for Maine artists to get put on because we don't get as much exposure in this state as other artists in other states do. A big reason why a lot of artists in Maine don't put themselves out there, like you can get put on, it's easy, but you gotta put yourself out there more and like be able to get your music out there. And you gotta be like something that no one's heard before. You gotta think outside the box. Like my brother Dio, he skateboards and he has to do certain things to like get out there and get sponsored, like think outside the box. He's from Maine too, and it's not easy, but it can definitely happen if you like do what you need to do to put yourself out there. Like prime example, like I said before, Rocks, he's doing shows in Boston, doing shows out here too, like he's expanded. A lot of Maine artists don't expand. Like I'm about to be doing shows in Virginia. I got a show coming up June 28th. And like my boy Zayd, he does music as well. He's out in Miami, like expanding his music career. And that's what you're supposed to do. A big part of like what's making Maine like start to get on the map is like, even though I keep saying this, my boy Rocks. Like he's doing things, putting his merchandise out there. He has his own lighters, own t-shirts, all of that. Same thing with Kid Angel. Like these two dudes right here are actually putting us on the map. I'm trying to be up there with them. And it's difficult, but at the same time, like for people who want to get out there, like just ask around. A lot of people are artists, they just are underground. You just gotta find them. Like I found, like me and my boy Zayd, we started doing music. I met him when he was working at a pizza place. Now he's in Miami with a nice ass car doing his thing. So like, it's not difficult, you just gotta find the right people.
I be wearing striped shirts with my hair.
There's a lot of Maine artists that I'd love to see perform this summer. Like Kid Angel, Rocks, like a bunch of artists. Zayd the Kid and me are doing a show June 28th. Y'all should be out there. It's gonna be at Legion Hall in Westbrook. If you don't know who I am by now, it's Y.D Collins. You can look me up on SoundCloud, on YouTube. Like, I hope y'all want me to perform this year too. Like, I haven't done it in a minute, but I'm trying to get out there, you know?
With the grammar, but I'm fucking up some commas.
My suggestion to any artist who is scared of getting themselves out there, don't be scared. Like, it is a scary feeling, but at the same time, like, once you start getting a fan base and everything, even if you don't make it, like you'll still have people supporting you. Like people will tell you if you're good or not, but don't let that criticism take you away from what you love to do. If you love to do this, take the criticism, no matter what it is, as constructive criticism. I've been pushed out of freaking places before for my music. Like people didn't like it, people weren't feeling it, but I never stopped. I keep going.
Devil yoked me up and that shit wasn't funny.
I got 3 big inspirations, like 3 people that inspire me the most. First person, my boy Zayd. He's helped me out ever since we met. Like he's helped me out with a place to sleep when I had nowhere to go, no food to eat, he was there. Same thing with my brother Dio, helped me out when I had no place to go. And my boy Jerron, he's helping me with all this music stuff, pushing me to get where I need to be with this music. Like they inspire me to do what I need to do. If you have someone in your life that inspires you and tells you don't give up, that's the person that you want in your corner. Like the people that don't really care if you fail or not, those aren't good people for you. Find inspiration. How's it going? My name's Y.D Collins. I come straight out of Portland. I was born and raised here. I actually used to play at that park over at Daring Oaks. We in Daring Oaks right now. Used to play at that park growing up with my little brother Tyrese. We looked out for each other. I started rapping to my sister first. Like that's when I first started doing it. Like she inspired me to want to do this, make sure that I'm getting somewhere with my music. She passed September 25th, so I still do this music for her, and I do it for all of y'all too. Like if you a fan, then I do this for y'all. I got into music at a young age. I started, like I was singing in a church choir when I was 5 years old. Like I was sitting in church with my mom. We were sitting listening to the choir, and I wanted to join them, and I was like, "Ma, can I go up there and sing with them?" She said no. And me being a little badass, I decided to not listen, walked up onto the stage, asked the lady if I could sing with them. I started singing, and my mom, she didn't know that I could sing like that, so I started like doing that. Got a little bit older. When I was 7, I started rapping, and when I was 8, I was starting to like do a lot of dumb stuff, not really focusing on my music. I just used it as like a side hustle. But then once I got older, once I turned 12, I got serious with my music. Like I was still trapping, but I wasn't doing it as much as I thought I was. But as soon as I turned 18, a lot of bad things happened to me. I don't want to speak on it, it's personal, but that like really pushed me to make my music, like get more serious with it. When I was 17, I recorded my first demo in Loc DAB's studio. I don't know, I just love this music stuff, man. I've loved it since I was born. Like soon as my sister started playing Biggie Smalls, like that's when I wanted to start rapping. Like she would drive around playing Biggie Smalls, and it made me want to just start rapping. No bullshit, when my first rhyme, I Googled how to rap, and then from then on I was like, I can do this shit for real. Like I just practiced every day and got serious with it. Now Blunt or Two and Payphones is at like 4K and 5K. Like all my songs is doing good. That's why I do this, cause like I've had this dream since I was 7 years old. Like I got faith in myself before anybody else did. So that's why I do this.
I count them racks again, work my way from the bottom.
What inspires me as an artist and what like pushes me to like do this shit and try to make it a full-time job is my family. First of all, like my family motivates me, and I want to like see them all eating good, make sure that my nieces and nephews and my son can get into any college they want, make sure that my family's doing good. Like in Portland, it may not seem like pretty violent, like out of state places, but like you go to certain spots, there's like addicts, fiends, alcoholics and shit. Like that's what motivates me to do this, because I don't want to be around that shit. Like it's not something that's cool. Like same thing with these dudes out here want to be in gangs and stuff. Like I motivate myself to not be around that shit. Like don't get me wrong, I got street dudes behind my back like that got my back whenever, but that street shit is played out. So all you young cats that want to be in these streets, nah, if you got a talent or you got something that you love to do, focus on that. That like make that your inspiration, because these streets don't give a fuck about you.
Well, again, yeah, that's why I did.
Where I see myself in 5 to 10 years, hopefully doing good, like hopefully in a big mansion, like with my mom like right next door, you know. Like I've always been a mama's boy, I ain't gonna front. Like everything I do for my mom. So I see where I want to see myself in 5 to 10 years, like holding a Grammy, being able to bring my mom up on the stage to like celebrate it with me, like my nieces, my nephews, all my nieces and everything, like my brothers, my sisters. I want them to be eating good, and I see myself doing that in 5 to 10 years.
An angel, baby, 'cause you a blessing. Your ex-man.
My ambition for this year is to get my ducks in a row with this music, make sure that I'm doing everything I need to. I'm dropping a mixtape May 26th, also on my birthday. It's called Y.D's Wonderland. It's gonna have 10 tracks on there, and you can find it on SoundCloud right now, but I promise it's gonna be in much more places. Just SoundCloud is all I can work with right now. But don't you worry, y'all gonna see a lot of me this year, I promise you.
You always listen. Are you down to ride?
The best in Maine right now, I do want to say myself, like I do, because like there ain't a lot of artists who do shit like I do it, but I can't do that, because the best artist in Maine right now, like I gotta give it to Kid Angel. I see him out there, like even though he from Rhode Island, he's still a Maine nigga at the same time. You gotta realize that. Like, I see him doing big things, man. Like, a lot of these artists, I'm not gonna say he the best, because there is no such thing as the best rapper in Maine, because we all, like, you have to have a huge ass rap battle for that to happen, because like everybody thinks they're the best in Maine, because that's just how their ego is. I don't want to say I'm the best in Maine. I'm like up there, but I don't want to say that. So like, in my personal opinion, there is no best artist in Maine. There are great artists in Maine, but one can't amount to the other, you know? A big thing that we can do in Maine as artists, like, we need to come together and make Maine have more hip hop than it does, because all these artists want to compete with each other. Like, I don't compete with none of y'all niggas. I want to work with all y'all mostly, except for the cocky ones. I don't like the cocky people. Like, you need to humble yourself. I like humble people. But if people ain't gonna stay humble and just do what they need to do with this music, like, we all should be working together, not working against each other. But everybody's, like I said, everybody's ego is so far up there that nobody sits and thinks about, oh, maybe I should work with this person, or maybe I should work with that person. They only worried about like money and stuff. Like, that's where people's egos don't get them on the map, because a lot of people's egos are what's holding them back, you know?
Did I do that like I'm a light-skinned white arc?
I want to give a shout out to my brother Dio, my sister Kate, my nieces and nephews, my sister Kim, my sister Tia, who's looking at me right now. She's smiling, I know that. My grandmother, all my cousins, all my uncles, all my aunts. Like, I just want to give a shout out to all y'all. Y'all have kept faith in me. Like, y'all knew from a young age I was gonna do this. Like, all my boys who've vouched that I can make it with this music stuff, like, it means a lot. So I want to give a shout out to pretty much everybody that I know in Portland, man. Like Portland, Westbrook, Brunswick, Lewiston, Bangor, Auburn, like all them places I've been to. If you know me, then I'll give you a shout out. If you fuck with Woe Gang, then you is Woe Gang, you know? I just want to say that the biggest person that I'm doing this for is my son Derek. Like, I hope to see you sometime this year, buddy. Like, I don't know if you'll be watching this or not. If your mom's watching this, she's gonna be pissed off at this. It is what it is. But like, I love you, son. Like, for real.
I don't give a fuck about a bitch, cause that ain't my...
There's a lot of artists in this state that I want to give a shout out to. Like, also some of my friends that I want to give a shout out to. Like Rocks, Kid Angel, Zayd the Kid, fucking all my boys that have pushed me to do what I need to do. My boy Jerron, my brother Dio, my brother Tyrese, my mom, of course. Like, at first when I was doing this music stuff, I know she doubted me a little bit, but she got faith. My sister, I know she looking up above me right now, smiling. Like, my grandmother too, I know she up there smiling. Like, I just want to shout out to a lot of people. My homegirl Destiny. Nah, I'm just kidding. But can I do that over, bro?
Never give a damn about a motherfucker who say that he got all of these hoes, but on the really not a player.